Everything we thought we knew about Power Book 4, Force, is about to change forever. The latest tease from the showrunner didn't just promise a finale, it promised a storm. A storm that's been building from the very first episode, one that's about to destroy everything Tommy Egan has built in Chicago. Fans think they've figured it out, but the truth hiding behind the trailer might be darker, deeper, and far more personal than anyone expects. Tommy Egan has always been a man who walks straight into chaos. But this time, the chaos feels different. The city of Chicago isn't just another battlefield. It's a maze of loyalty, revenge, and survival, where every move has a cost. As we move closer to the season finale, there's this quiet tension that hangs in the air, almost like the show itself is holding its breath. You can feel it in the way every scene slows down just a little, every word hits harder, and every silence lasts longer than it should. Something's coming, and it's not just another drug war or betrayal. It feels like the end of something bigger, the end of the version of Tommy we thought we knew. If you've been paying close attention, you'll notice the way the camera lingers on Tommy's face in recent episodes, not angry, not ruthless, but tired. This is a man who's lost too much, fought too long, and maybe deep down is realizing that no one wins this life for long. It's not weakness, it's weight. The kind of weight only someone who's watched everything he loves burn can understand. That's the energy this finale is carrying, not just blood and bullets, but consequence. The kind of consequence that doesn't come from your enemies, but from your own choices. And that's exactly what makes the showrunner's tease so powerful. When he said the finale changes everything, he wasn't exaggerating. This isn't going to be another cliffhanger or a setup for the next season. This feels like the kind of ending that redefines the story, one that breaks the character before rebuilding him. The word shocking doesn't just mean someone dies. It means the story takes a turn you didn't even know was possible. It means Tommy might finally have to face something he can't fight his way out of himself. Think about how far he's come. From being Ghost's loyal right-hand man in New York to carving out his own empire in Chicago, Tommy's been chasing control his entire life. But the truth is, control has always been an illusion for him. He builds, it burns. He loves, they die. He trusts, they betray. And every time, he rises from the ashes harder, colder, more dangerous. But what happens when the fire doesn't come from his enemies, but from the people he's trying to protect? That's the kind of emotional punch Power has been saving. And the showrunner knows it. In recent interviews, he mentioned that the finale would make fans rethink everything they thought they knew about loyalty and legacy. That line alone says everything. Loyalty has always been Tommy's code, but it's also been his curse. It's what drove him to kill, to avenge, to survive, and it's probably what's about to destroy him. Legacy, on the other hand, is the part Tommy's never really figured out. He's always been a soldier, a survivor, but never a builder of something that lasts. Chicago was supposed to be that chance. But what if the finale proves that no matter how far you run, you can't outrun the ghosts of your past? There's a heaviness in every teaser frame we've seen, the cold lighting, the silence between words, the tension that doesn't need to be explained. It's not just setting up a fight, it's setting up a reckoning. The kind of reckoning where bullets might not be the deadliest thing in the room. You can tell the writers are building towards something emotional, not just violent, something that hits Tommy where it hurts most. Maybe it's a betrayal. Maybe it's a loss. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the moment he realizes that power itself is the lie. That's what separates this finale from anything we've seen before. It's not just a story about crime. It's a story about identity. About what happens when you've built your whole life around being untouchable, and the world finally finds a way to touch you. Tommy has always said he's ready for anything, but the look in his eyes says otherwise. Maybe for the first time, he's afraid. Not of dying, but of becoming something he swore he'd never be alone, forgotten, and powerless. And that's where the showrunner's words hit hardest. Because if he's teasing something truly shocking, then it's not just another twist. It's the truth that's been chasing Tommy from the beginning finally catching up. The calm is over. The storm is here. And no one, not even Tommy Egan, walks away clean this time. When the showrunner of Power Book 4 spoke about the finale, he didn't just drop a tease, he lit a fuse. His exact words echoed across every fan page and discussion thread like a warning shot. The finale will shock even the most loyal fans. Nothing is safe, and no one is untouchable. That line alone changed everything. It wasn't just hype. It felt like a promise, or maybe a threat, that the story we've been following is about to take a turn that flips the entire world of Force upside down. And the best part? He said it with that quiet confidence that only someone who knows the ending can. For weeks, people have been replaying the finale trailer frame by frame trying to catch what he meant. Maybe it's a death. Maybe it's betrayal. But what if the shocking part isn't about who dies, but who lives? What if it's about the one person Tommy never expected to lose, himself? That's the kind of twist Power has always mastered. The kind that doesn't just break hearts, it breaks patterns. Every series in the Power universe has followed a rhythm: power gained, power lost, revenge taken, lesson learned. But this finale feels different. This one feels like a mirror, forcing Tommy and the audience to finally face what he's become. The showrunner hinted that this ending would connect back to the roots of the original Power in a way fans won't see coming. That alone sent shockwaves through the fandom. Because if there's one thing Power fans know, it's that history never really dies. Ghost's presence has haunted every spin-off, even in silence. So when a creator says we're going back to the roots, you have to wonder, are we finally going to see Ghost's shadow reach Chicago? Or worse, ... Is Tommy about to become the very thing he swore he'd never be, another ghost? Imagine the irony. Tommy spent years trying to escape Ghost's legacy, to prove he could build something that was his. But power always comes with reflection, and maybe, just maybe, the finale shows that in chasing power, Tommy has turned into the same man he once hated. That's not just storytelling. That's tragedy. The kind of storytelling that lingers after the credits roll. The kind that doesn't give you closure, only questions. And that's what makes this showrunner's tease feel so loaded. He isn't talking about shock for shock's sake. He's talking about emotional destruction. Fans have pointed out something interesting too. The tone of the recent episodes feels heavier, quieter. It's not just action anymore. It's dread. The lighting, the slow motion, the music, all of it feels like a build-up to something more personal than physical. The camera doesn't just show violence. It shows regret. It lingers on faces, not fights. That's how you know the showrunner's hand is all over this. He's setting the stage for a finale that hits from the inside out. Because the real power in Power has never been about guns or money. It's about choices. There's also that cryptic line from the teaser clip. Everything you love has a price. That's not random. That's a message. It's almost like the writers are whispering that every loyalty Tommy's clung to, every person he's tried to protect, is about to cost him something he can't afford. Maybe it's the life he's built, maybe it's his sanity, or maybe it's someone who's been with him since the beginning. Whatever it is, it's going to hurt. And that's what makes this tease so powerful. It doesn't just prepare us for a big moment. It warns us that even we, the audience, aren't ready. In another interview, the showrunner compared this finale to a closing of one chapter and the violent birth of another. That phrase, a violent birth, says it all. It's not a clean ending. It's messy, painful, chaotic, just like Tommy himself. Every story about him has been a mix of loyalty and destruction, and this finale might be the ultimate collision of both. If the birth of Chicago's new kingpin came with blood, then maybe the rebirth will come with loss. That's how great characters evolve, not by winning, but by surviving what should have destroyed them. And if we dig even deeper, maybe the real shocking finale isn't about Tommy at all. Maybe it's about what his choices create. Maybe someone close to him steps into the role he's been fighting to hold. Maybe power doesn't end, it just shifts. That's how this universe works. Nobody really dies in power. They just become part of someone else's story. The showrunner knows that, and the way he's framing this season's end feels like a handoff. A torch passing through chaos. So, when he says fans won't see it coming, maybe he means that the ending won't feel like an ending at all. It'll feel like a transformation. The kind that burns away everything that came before and leaves only truth behind. Because if there's one lesson the Power universe keeps teaching us, it's that the truth always wins in the end, even if it kills you to see it. The trailer for the Power Book 4 Force finale didn't just tease an ending, it whispered secrets in every frame. It's the kind of trailer that doesn't scream, it hints. Every second feels carefully placed, like a coded message for those who know how to look. It opens with a shot of Chicago at night, drenched in red light. Not the usual warm red, but something colder, sharper, almost bleeding through the darkness. It's not just for style. Red has always followed Tommy. It's the color of loss, of consequence, of ghosts. Whenever it shows up in Power, someone's about to pay for something they can't undo. And in this trailer, the red isn't behind Tommy ... It's around him. That alone should tell us everything this time. He's the one surrounded. There's a quick cut to Tommy walking down an alley, hands clenched, his eyes locked on something we can't see. The sound fades. No music, no noise. Just the echo of his footsteps. Silence is powerful. It's the show's way of saying something big is coming. In Power, when everything gets quiet, it's never peace. It's pressure. The trailer's rhythm slows down here, almost painfully, before smashing into chaos, gunfire, shouting, and a flash of headlights cutting across the night. But pause it right there. Behind the smoke, you can spot something easy to miss, a shadow stepping out of the car. A figure Tommy seems to recognize. His face changes for just half a second. Fear? Shock? Maybe both. It's quick, but it's enough to tell us this isn't just another enemy. This is personal. Then comes the voiceover, deep, tired, familiar. You can't build a future on blood. It's not Tommy's voice. And that's what's driving fans wild. Who says it? Some think it's Diamond, others say it's JP. But a few sharp-eared listeners swear it sounds eerily like someone from Tommy's past, maybe even Ghost himself, echoing through memory or hallucination. The showrunner knows exactly what he's doing. That line isn't random. It's the theme of Tommy's entire story. Every empire he's ever built, New York, Chicago, has been built on blood. Maybe now the bill is finally due. The next sequence is a fast montage. Blink and you'll miss half the clues. Tommy in a burning warehouse. D-Mac holding a gun with trembling hands. Claudia looking down at something or someone with shock in her eyes. A shattered glass table. And then the one shot that froze the fandom, Tommy's reflection in a broken mirror. It's not subtle, but it's brilliant. The mirror shot is a classic Power symbol. In Book 2, Ghost, Tariq's reflection was used to show his split identity, student by day, killer by night. Now Tommy gets his moment, but his reflection isn't clean. It's cracked. Symbolism at its best, Tommy's image, his identity, fractured beyond repair. Whatever's coming, it's not just going to test him. It's going to break him. Midway through the trailer, there's a 2-second shot that most viewers probably missed, a photograph burning. It's only visible if you slow it down frame by frame. The picture shows Tommy with his family, JP, D-Mac, and Kate. The etches catch fire first, then the faces vanish one by one. JP disappears first, then Kate, then D-Mac ... until only Tommy remains, surrounded by ashes. That's not random editing. That's storytelling in silence. The message. Tommy might lose everything, not just his allies, but the very people he's fighting for. It's the purest form of tragedy, protecting what you love, only to watch it fall apart in your hands. Another blink and you'll miss it moment shows Diamond looking at a stack of cash, but the camera focuses on a bloodstain on the money. It's the same framing the show used in season 1 when Tommy betrayed the Flynn family. So why show it again? Because history repeats itself? Every move Tommy makes eventually circles back to betrayal, no matter how hard he tries to play it different. And the trailer seems to hint that this time, the betrayal won't come from him, it'll come for him. Then comes the strangest clue, a single black rose on a table. It's shown for barely half a second. Fans of the original Power will remember that black roses have always been tied to death and legacy. Ghost's funeral had them, and they appeared again when Tariq made his first kill. Their return here isn't an accident. The rose means something final is about to happen. Someone's story, maybe Tommy's, maybe someone close, is coming to an end. At the trailer closes on Tommy's voice, low, steady, but trembling underneath. You think I'm scared to lose it all. That's not a question. That's a confession. For the first time, Tommy sounds tired. Not defeated, just aware. Aware that maybe power, the thing he's been chasing his whole life, isn't worth what it's cost him. And right after he says that, the screen goes black. But if you listen closely, there's one last sound under the silence. A single gunshot, followed by a faint heartbeat. It's almost inaudible, but it's there. That's the brilliance of this trailer. It doesn't show you the death. It makes you feel it. Every frame, every sound, every pause feels intentional. The showrunner isn't hiding the ending. He's daring you to see it. Because the clues are all there, woven into light, shadow, and silence. The city burns red, the mirror breaks, the rose fades, and in between all that, a single truth is waiting. Tommy's empire might not fall from bullets, but from something far colder. Fate. The internet hasn't slept since that finale trailer dropped. Fans across Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube are tearing it apart, theory by theory, frame by frame. Every glance, every pause, every background detail is being treated like a confession. But what's fascinating isn't just how many theories there are, it's how different they are. Some believe the finale will mark the end of Tommy's empire. Others think it's the beginning of a bigger, darker phase in the Power universe. But one thing unites them all. Everyone agrees that this ending won't be simple. Because nothing in Tommy Egan's world ever is. The biggest theory making noise right now? The Ghost Returns theory. Fans are convinced the showrunner's hint about going back to the roots means we'll finally see a connection to James' ghost St. Patrick. Maybe not in person, but in legacy. There's that mysterious voice in the trailer, the line, "You can't build a future on blood." It's not random that it sounds familiar. Some claim it's a hallucination. Others think Tommy finds an old recording or letter from Ghost, something that forces him to confront his past. The idea isn't about resurrecting Ghost literally. It's about resurrecting what he represents. Tommy's biggest ghost has always been the man himself. If this theory is true, the finale might close the circle between the original Power and Force, showing that no matter how far Tommy runs, Ghost's influence still writes his story. Then there's the betrayal within theory. One of the most heartbreaking and, honestly, most believable ones. It suggests that Tommy won't lose to his enemies, he'll lose to someone he trusts. The clues are there if you look close enough. The burning photo in the trailer isn't just symbolism, it's foreshadowing. The order of the faces burning matters. P's face disappears first, then D-Max, then Kate's, before Tommy's remains. Fans think that means Tommy's downfall starts from within his circle, maybe even from family. Some think D-Mac will make a move against him, tired of living in his shadow. Others believe Claudia manipulates one of them, turning Tommy's loyalty into his weakness. It fits the pattern in Power. Betrayal is always personal, and it always hurts the most when it comes from home. A third theory, more complex and darker, is the Tommy sacrifice theory. It suggests that the finale will show Tommy finally understanding the cost of his world and choosing to give something up. Not because he's weak, but because he's evolved. Fans argue that this is the first time we might see Tommy do something unselfish. The showrunner's choice of words, the violent birth of another chapter, has fueled this theory. Maybe Tommy's death, or disappearance is what sparks the next era of power. Maybe his story ends not in defeat, but in transformation, passing the torch to someone else, perhaps D-Mac, to carry the legacy. Imagine the symmetry of it. Tommy, the man who lived by chaos, ending his journey with a moment of clarity, giving up power to save someone else. That's not just shocking. That's poetic. But not all theories are about endings. Some fans are looking at the trailer's chaos and seeing the beginning of something much bigger. They call it the Power Civil War theory. This idea says that the finale won't wrap things up at all. It'll rip them open. With Chicago's balance of power shattered, every crew, every player, every alliance will collapse into all-out war. Tommy won't die. He'll vanish into the chaos, setting the stage for a new kind of struggle. The theory ties back to one small detail from the trailer, a fleeting newspaper headline that flashes for a second. Gang war erupts in Southside. Blink and you miss it. But that one headline could be the foundation for Season 3. The fall of Tommy's empire might not be the end of the story, but the start of a new war, one where his ghost rules through fear. Not presence. And then there's the theory no one wants to believe, but everyone keeps whispering. The Tommy dies theory. It's simple and brutal. It argues that the showrunners' talk of a shocking finale isn't about twists or setups. It's about closure. Tommy's death, they say, would close the final chapter of the original Power era. It would force the universe to move on. The evidence. The final shot of the trailer, Tommy saying, "You think I'm scared to lose it all?" And the gunshot right after. The heartbeat that follows isn't his, it's someone else's. Maybe the legacy continue.